But there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me. The pickings have been lush. And yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners. You might refuse to stay. And so the best that I can do is pray. Hey. Da-da-da-da. Luck be a lady tonight. What y'all know about that? This is for the real gangsters. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. That's right. Welcome to the Relationship Rehab. I am your host, Brian Redmond. Yes, indeed. How flights a dame you can be. That's right. I know the way you've treated others, guys you've been with. Luck be a lady with me. If you are watching on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. A lady doesn't leave her escort. That's right. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. It's not nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. Hey, let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. That's right. Come on. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady tonight. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. All of the good mothers out there. Yes, this is the Relationship Rehab. I am Brian Redmond. And yes, I am singing some Frank Sinatra. Oh, Blue Eyes, baby. If you don't know, now you know. You know. If you're over on Facebook, I will be cutting it after this. And we're going to get it going on the YouTube side. So I hope y'all join me because it's going to be a great show. Now, I do want to let you guys know that my last show with Childish Gambino got flagged down, but it's back up. So you can check that out again and you can share that too. So just be sure to do that because that was an awesome show. I'm really proud of that show. But yeah, so you guys definitely, let's get ready. Let's have a great show tonight because it's going to be epic. And I'm going to finish up this old Blue Eyes. A lady doesn't leave her escort. Yes, indeed. It isn't fair. And it's not nice. That's right. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. That's right. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Yeah. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Da 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 da. Luck be a lady. Da 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 da. Luck be a lady tonight. Yes, I got the pipes. What? I'm Making America great again, damn it. Let's do this. What's up, everybody? Give a shout out to the first person in the room besides myself was Nationwide Wise Guy gets the salute. Thank you, good sir, for doing your part as an American. I love you for it. Man, let's give a shout out to I keep messing this up. I'm so sorry. Alirpa? I think that's it. I hope that's it. But yep, shout out to you, Marcus Hardison. What's up? What's good, bro? When you teaming up with Tommy, hey man, just keep praying, man. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna do something. We're gonna try to sneak in a show soon, I hope. So let's just keep going. But in the meantime, I want you to make sure that you are subscribing to Tommy's website. You should be going to sotomayortv.com. Go ahead and make sure that you get on the website because everything is there. All of the shows and stuff are there. It's been good. It's been great. I love going to the website, checking everything out. And man, like I said, if you don't know, now you know. Make sure you go over there and make sure you do subscribe to the website. That's awesome. Let me give a shout out to Random Cam. What's up? Let's see, Selena. David Williams, what's going on, bro? Let's see, who else? Oh, Mizzy 20. Celtics up 1-0. Hey, man, them Celtics, let me tell you something. Now, I'm going to say this. The Celtics was hot today. The Celtics were hot. They played a good game, but LeBron and them, they stunk to high heaven. I don't know if they partied all night or what they did, but they didn't even look like a basketball team. They were slow. They were flat. They couldn't buy a bucket. So I understand that y'all celebrating in Boston, but yeah, LeBron is known for coming back and expect a severe paddling on tomorrow. So that being said, good win. Glad you got your W. But yeah, he's not done with you all yet. There's work to be done. So let's see who else we got in here. My man Chris Thorns. What's good, brother? The Chris Thorns Show. Shout out my brother. Him and DJ Chris, my man. Let's see. We got Jimmy D. What's up? We got my man Food, Clothing, Music, and Shelter. Hey, man, I want to tell you something. First and foremost, congratulations on the success of your channel. I was thinking about you today when I saw something on Hawaii and this volcano. I said, oh man, I forgot my boys over there serving the country. So I just wanted to check in with you, man, to make sure that you was good. I'm glad that you're doing all right. Glad your family's all right, man. And ain't no volcano near you. I pray that everybody, all your people, y'all safe, man. So shout out to you for that, man. I'm glad you're all right. I hadn't seen you in a while, so I was definitely concerned about you, brother. Shout out to Marcus Hardison. I already shouted him out. Food, Clothing, yep, we did that. Jimmy D, and y'all know this thing be messing up, so let me scroll back. There we go. Shout out to Chassie. What's going on? What the hell did you walk into? Frank Sinatra, old blue eyes, girl. You know what time it is. Let's see. A Things World, yes indeed. Tara, what's happening? Thank you, Tara. See, she gave me the bravo. Skoha, what's up, brother? Salute to you, man. Tyrone Church. Okay, make America great again. That's right, man. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Chris G, my man. What's going on, brother? Life. Sweet Jesus Lord. That's what's up. Let's see. Phil McCracken. What's happening? Sunrise 69. What's good? Let's see who else we got. Chorus 15, how's it going? Frantonio Michael. I never wanted this for you, Michael. I wanted something more for you. What's going on, brother? Yes, indeed. And I think that's it. If I missed you, I apologize, but I want to get the show going on tonight. I don't have much time. I want to come before you, hit my points, and skedaddle. But yeah, definitely to all the mothers that are out there that are good mothers, not the mamas that are just mothered by because they had a baby. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Thank you for all that you do. And special shout out to my mother. And let me stop and say this. To my wonderful mother. I love you to no end. You have been such an inspiration and an influence on my life that I would not be the man that you see before you today had it not been for you, my dear mother. The sacrifice that you made as a woman, the sacrifice that you made as a mother for me to have a better life, I cannot do anything but tip my hat, bow, salute, and give you the utmost respect. You are my queen mother, I love you dearly. And there is nothing in this world that I would not do for you. And I thank you for everything that you taught me. And I thank you even more for exposing me to be able to be around other men and other adults so that I could become a better man. You weren't one of those parents that thought that I can learn about being a man from you. And I appreciate you for that, because that is definitely one of the most unselfish things that you ever did for me. You let me be around our next door neighbor, Mr. Morrell. Shout out to you, my second father. I love you, Mr. Morrell. Shout out to Guy Orange, wherever you are. I love you. You like my third father. Shout out to just the men that were in my life, the young men, the older men that took me under their wings and showed me things. Of course, my daddy showed me a ton of stuff, but I just want to say thank you to my mother and salute you on this day, Mom. I love you dearly for what you've done. You were a great example for me, and you were a great influence on my life, and I love you for it. That being said, happy Mother's Day, Mother. And to my wonderful wife, I want to say happy Mother's Day to you, because you are raising and you are playing such an important role in the greatest thing I've ever created, which is my lovely daughter, Destiny. Daddy, love you. And I just want to say thank you to my wife for being such a great mom. Outstanding mother. Thank you for always doing what it is that needs to be done. Thank you for always being there. Happy Mother's Day to you. And to all the rest of the mothers in the world, Miss Morrell, my next door neighbor, second mother to me. My aunt, shout out to my auntie Jan, my aunt Jeannie, my auntie Jan, rest in peace. My aunt Lynn, my aunt Brenda, all my aunt Deb, I said everybody, all of my aunties. Shout out to y'all too, and to those that have just been mother figures to me, around me. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Moving right along, I do want to go ahead, like I said, and dive into the show. So everybody saw the Childish Gambino thing, right? And you can see my video on that. I might even just repost that just to repost it so you can watch that too. But the Childish Gambino thing is, it had a lot of feedback, a lot of fallout about it, because a lot of people are saying because he is with a non-black woman that he can't talk about black folks. He can't talk about black people. He can't say nothing about what black people do, what black people have done, what black people may be doing. He can't talk about that because he ain't with a black woman. So it got me thinking. I got to ponder, and I said, well, I wonder if you being black, or you being just from a particular race, and if you date somebody, or if you marry somebody, or if you choose to be with somebody that is not of the same race as you, does that take away your permissions to be able to speak on that? And I thought about it, and I said, I don't know. And I came to the conclusion, after just looking over a few aspects of it, I said, well, you know what? I think I need to do a show about this and talk about it. So I'm basically going to give my point of view on it. And if anybody has or disagrees with that, please feel free to click in the description. I mean, not the description box, but click in the comments section. Shoot me an email, therelationshiprehab@gmail.com. And hey, we can hash it out. We can talk about it, whatever the case may be. But I wanted to give my perspective on it, and I wanted to talk about it because I felt that it was definitely something of very, very importance, because we have so many people, I believe, that have things to say, have things to offer, and may not speak because they are in a relationship with someone who is not the same race as them, or may feel like they can't speak. And at the end of the day, I think that that's something that we have done, or if we continue to do that or support that, we're doing ourselves a disservice. And I'm going to explain why. Because I believe that there are things that people have to be able to, there are things that people should be able to say, there are things that people should be able to do, there are things that people should be able to be, and it should not be dictated upon or predicated upon you being in a relationship with a person that's of your same race. It just shouldn't be. So I'm going to explain why I feel that way, and hopefully let me find this Childish Gambino link so I can put that back up in there. But I'll look for that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I will actually just do this, because that way I won't have to worry about it. And I'll just click that guy and we'll put it here. Yep, there it is. No, that is not it. Alrighty, so we'll figure that out later. Moving right along. So basically what I wanted to do, I posed the question was, can a person be down for their people and date outside of their race? That's pretty much what it is. And at this point, I'm going to cut the Facebook Live because I don't want the video or the video stream to hinder or pause or stutter or anything like that. So everybody that's watching on Facebook, click the link, come on over to YouTube, and you can check it out from there. And to everybody that came by on the YouTube side of the game, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the YouTube side of the game. So let me go ahead and end that stream. And that should put me, yep, cool. I think I'm gonna hit this young, yep. This thing still ain't stopping. Oh, there it is. All right. Did it stop? Yes. No. Maybe so. I don't know. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. A bit loud. You know what? I think it was too. In my last stream, I think it was a bit loud. Is that better? Is that better now? Better now? Better now? Tell me if it's better now. Better now. Let's see. I hope that is. Y'all let me know. Because I did turn it down a considerable amount. And hopefully that sounds good. And y'all let me know. But if not, hey, just let me know and I'll turn it down some more. So, moving right along. Here we go. So, one of the first things that I thought about. It's a bit better or a bit loud. Let me turn it down some more. Jesus. Y'all let me know how it sounds. Sounds good? Okay, there we go. I got it sounds good. Let's keep it moving. So, can a person be down for their race and date somebody outside of their race? That was like the question to ask. That was like the thing. So I thought about it and I said, well, what does that really mean? And that's like one of the first questions that you have to ask. Like, what does that really mean to say, well, this person being this type of spokesman or this person having these ideas or these thoughts, do they have the right to speak on this? And I said, well, let's define what does it mean to be down. So when we talk about what is being down for black people, let's just call it what it is. Black people, our people, my people, like Umi. My Umi says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. That's my jam. I came up with this. Being down, if you will, being down is an active participant and supporter for oneself and for the better and for one's and his people or her people to be better. So the whole fact of us just moving forward to be better as a group of people, as a community, as a race, whatever you want to call it, just that idea is what I think or what I would consider saying you down for your people. And I think that with you having the idea of saying, I'm not trying to, personally go after and attack somebody else for the sake of my people. I want to build my people first. I want to help my people do what it is that we want to do. I want us to move forward. I want to right our wrongs and to be better. I think that's what being down for your people is. And I think that everybody should be down for their people. I think that everybody should be down for us as a people and for us as a race. Just saying the human race. Humans in general, we should all want us to be better. And I think when you're talking about the different things that separate us, like color, for instance, when you talk about those, I think there's a different dynamic in each race that there are things that they need to change, things they need to fix. And I think that you being down for doing that work, that makes you down for your people. That's just me. So also, too, the other part of that is also being held accountable and responsible for his or her actions and holding others to that same expectation. So it's like the things that I want to say or call out, talk about, bring to the forefront, call to the table, those people need to be able to, I need to be able to say, well, I want those people to be, down for me, and I want them to be down for us, but I also want us to be responsible for our actions. Because I can't say, yeah, I want us to do what we want to do what we need to do to be a better people. I want us to get better. And then all the while, we are just like not doing anything to support that. Our actions are totally different or in total contradiction of us being a better us. So that's my part. And the last part to that whole being down thing is you have to be able to be transparent no matter how offensive, disparaging things may seem or sound or come across as. So no matter how much something may offend you, the fact that I'm talking about it, if it's truth, if there's truth to it, if it's a valid point that I'm bringing up, then you have to be able to be in a position to where you can accept that and hear what it is. Because until you can see where you're at, you can't figure out where you're going. And that is like one of the things that you need in growth. You have to be able to center yourself on a specific thing and say, this is what I'm going to start change. This is what I'm going to start to change. This is what I'm going to start to grow in a different direction and do something different. And that focus point you have to be transparent enough to be able to call it out, bring it to the forefront and say, this is that thing where we say, this is the catalyst on which we begin to change. So that's my thing about being down. So now when you're talking about dating outside one's race, and this is where the real meat and potatoes is of what it is that I want to talk about. When you're talking about dating outside your race, and I've heard plenty of pro-black people say this. I've heard plenty of people that are just on the opposite side of where I'm coming at with it. But people that think that you should be with those that look like you and you should date those that look like you and all of that good stuff, I hear this point brought up a lot. And that point is this. The image is very important, and having that image of you being married to, dating, coupled up with, whatever the case may be, of somebody that looks like you, it sends a message to those that are around you. It sends a message to others that are around you. And I do agree with that point. However, I think that there is something that is a little bit more of a valid point that I think overrides that. And that valid point is this. I think that image is very important. However, a functional family and dynamic and just a true functional blueprint of a family dynamic and a family structure, I think that is more important than just the image of being with somebody who looks like you, because children will pattern themselves after what they are exposed to. You are a product of your environment. The greater majority of people are products of their environment. You tend to do things that others before you did. You tend to make the same mistakes that others before you made when it's what you're surrounded by on a day-to-day basis. So being with someone who is the exact same color as you, but you are in a very dysfunctional family. You're in a very dysfunctional marriage, a very dysfunctional relationship, period, point blank. I believe that is a bigger problem than trying to show the image, because the dysfunction is going to carry over, and that's going to permeate into the relationships of those children and the relationships that they have in their future. So I think that you having that particular idea of wanting to have a same race or same color picture or image as to who you date and who you bond with, start a family with, I think that that's important. But I think that when the matter of it being functional or dysfunctional, that is what overrides that. So essentially what I'm saying is, if I can be in a more functional relationship with a person who is of an Asian descent, or a person who's of a Korean descent, person who is of a Spanish descent, or a person who's of a Caucasian, whatever the case may be, if that relationship is more functional and it actually shows a very strong family structure, that relationship should be the one that I choose, as opposed to choosing to be with someone who is dysfunctional but looks like me. That is what I believe is paramount because of the damage that the black family has suffered. We are in such a dysfunctional state right now. We don't even believe in having traditional families. We don't believe in having real families that are structured properly and that produce good children, which produces good adults. We are the highest in single motherhood. So we having the most babies without fathers in the first place. We're having the most babies without families. So it's like, with that being said, us dating us, I think that there is a problem with that. I think that there's a problem with us dating us because us is broken, if you will. It's something wrong with us. So I think that there is a big, huge problem in us trying to focus and just fix ourselves on that image. I think that the image that we're trying to to put out there, it makes sense. But because it's such a dysfunctional thing now, because our families have been so what do you want to call it? Degraded, not degraded, the degenerative, like when you degrade or whatever that is. The families the family dynamic has lost its sustainability. We don't have traditional families anymore. So our family dynamic is so poor, if you will, that us trying to just be with us because we look like each other, I think it does us a disservice when it comes to the children that come from that. Because we're not staying together. We're not surviving, having long-lasting marriages. We're not the ones that are having more children in wedlock than any other race. We're last in that. So we need to start choosing partners that come from that strong background and that strong dynamic so that we can start to reestablish that again. Because us just trying to unlearn it and us just doing better, that's not going to get us where we're trying to go. And at the end of the day, I think that another thing too, we have to realize that the things that we do now that we have already have in our families and in our lives as dysfunctional, I think that us keeping that dynamic and trying to just maintain the image, I think it sets our children up to follow in the same pattern. And that same pattern is clearly why we have 82% single mothers. Because over the years, we've kept that same pattern. We've made it okay for single motherhood to be something that's fine. It's cool. Yeah, you can be a single mother. That's not the best thing for your child. So you shouldn't accept that. We shouldn't want to be that because it's not the best thing for us. And that's a whole nother tangent I can go off into, but I'm not going to do that. Stay back on topic. The other thing is that you have to ask the question when you're dating outside your race, should one have to sacrifice his or her happiness or their true desire just so that it can look right to others? I'll let that sit in for a second. Should I have to sacrifice my happiness? Should I have to sacrifice what I truly desire just so it can look right to people I don't know? So I won't get the eyes rolled at me at the restaurant. So that I won't get the whispers at the grocery store. So that I won't hear people talking shit about me in the line at the movies. So that I won't hear or see my family members make snide remarks on Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be. Should I have to deny myself that, or should I have to sacrifice my happiness just so I can make my relatives happy? Just so I can make my friends approve me and accept me? Should I have to do that? And I think that when you're thinking about those things, that's things that people think about that date or that are in or have considered being in interracial relationships. What will my parents think? What will my friends think? What will my family think? And we put that pressure on them because we have our own opinions. Now, most of those people that do think that way are in relationships or in relationships that are not fulfilling, which is why they don't want nobody else to be happy. But we have to realize that, is that what you want your daughter, your son, your uncle, your cousin, your friend to sacrifice their happiness and their true desire because they want to get your approval? That's just something to think about. And at the end of the day, too, my other point is, why can one's choice in whom he or she dates be looked at? Why can't we look at it as just a simple matter of choice? Like somebody put in the chat a little minute ago talking about 31 flavors. That's one of the things I heard Tommy say about this too. Why can't it just be a choice, a matter of flavor? We all like ice cream, right? So if I like chocolate, you like vanilla, and this person like cookies and cream, and this person like strawberry, is there something wrong with that person? Is that person less than because they don't pick the same flavor that I pick? Or they don't pick the same flavor that they look like? Or they don't pick the same flavor that everybody else in their family has picked? Should that really be something that's a problem? Or should it just be something where we just consider it a choice and say, this is what this person likes, this is what this person chooses, for whatever reason? Because there are plenty of other things in our lives that we choose for whatever reason that are okay. Plenty of other things. It's like if I'm a person that's a vegan, I'm choosing just not to eat meat. I don't want to eat meat. So why can't they? Am I less of a person? Am I looking down on us meat eaters? I'm a carnivore to the max. I love me some meat. But am I to say that, for me to say because I do eat meat and you don't eat meat, oh, you different. You shaming me. You making me this or you making me that. You trying to make me feel this kind of way. Am I less of a person because I don't go with what everybody think I should go with? That's a question that we have to ask, and we need to be able to have a great answer for that, because I don't see that. And at the end of the day, if it's something that you like, and if it's something that makes you happy, and it's something that you truly desire, why do I care? And why can't I support you in it and just say, hey, that's what you like, that's what you like. Go ahead and do what you need to do. Because I don't have to sleep with that person. I don't have to lay down with that person. I don't have to have sex with that person. I don't have to take pictures with that person. I don't have to do nothing with that person. And what that person chooses to, who that person chooses to be with, should just be that. Should be their choice. And the fact that you telling me that a person can't tell you the truth about something because of who they date, I find that to be just stupid. I'm sorry. There's no other word for that. For somebody to be able to not have an opinion, for somebody to not be able to express a thought, for them not to be able to express an idea, to talk about certain issues that we have as a people, and they can't do it because of who they date or who they're married to, I think that is just one of the dumbest things that we can do to ourselves. It keeps us in that box that's broken, that we're trying to get out of. If somebody's telling you the truth about something, if somebody's trying to help you be something better than what you are, then it shouldn't matter where they come from. It shouldn't matter who they sleep with, and it shouldn't matter who they date. It should just be a matter of just saying, is what you're saying truthful? Can I back it up with facts? Can I see the logic in it? Does it make sense, and will it improve my life? If you can say yes to those, I need to be able to accept that. And if I don't do it, then that's my choice, but I at least need to be able to accept it. So you have to be able to look at that from an aspect of just saying it's not about you and your own personal issues, because a lot of us have this thing about color. I'm dark skinned, I was shunned as a kid, and it happens. I was shunned as a kid, I was called black, charcoal, African booty scratcher, I was called all of these names, and I was made to feel bad about my color. True. And at the end of the day, you can't change that until you start to put yourself in a position to where you understand what other people are doing, and those things, the choices that they make are just their own. Because those things that were said to you as a child to make you feel bad, those kids had it said to them. That's why they pass it down. Which goes back to my first point, family dysfunction. A dysfunctional family. So it got to the point to where you black, you with somebody that's black, but because you are black, you purple black, you blue black, you real dark, then now it's a problem. If you light skinned, oh, it's different for you though. So why would you want to say, well, this is something that I should do because this is the same type of behavior that criticized me and gave me low self-esteem from me being a little kid? You too black. Oh, you black and you ugly. Because if you black, you gotta be ugly. And then you meet somebody from another race that appreciates your skin color, loves your skin tone, loves the way that you look, loves the fact that you dark. And you supposed to say, no, I'm going to go and be with this person. The first time they get mad at me, the first thing out their mouth is with your black ass. You're black like your daddy. Your ugly black daddy, he the one that pissed you, that got me in this shit. Why would you go and be with that person that is initially going to insult you and start with your color and work their way down? Boy, look how black you is. Boy, you so black, you need fingerprints on charcoal. Boy, black is coffee. Why would I want to be around that and perpetuate that type of relationship, that type of dysfunction with somebody who's used to it too, because they got it? You ain't black as me. No, I ain't black as you. You blacker than me. Oh no, I'm black. No, I ain't as black as you. Why would you want to be around that, and why would you want to perpetuate that type of family dynamic when you could be with somebody who appreciates you for your color, who appreciates you for your skin tone, who likes the fact that you're dark, who likes the fact that you brown, who likes the fact that you caramel or peanut butter, whatever y'all want to call it. Everybody got different shades of black. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't you want to be around that? At the end of the day, that's the thing that you have to really say. This is the dysfunction that we need to break. This is the family dynamic that we need to stop because it's been perpetuated. I remember when I was little. The African booty scratcher? Come on, man. Being called Little Black Sambo? Come on, man. That's before me. So I know it's definitely something that has just perpetuated over time. So it's like you don't, until you become an adult and you see other areas and you experience other races, you experience other cultures, that's when you really start to see like, damn, it's all right to be me. It's all right to be dark. It's people that do like my dark skin. But when you little, it's so damaging to you that you have low self-esteem from it. So why wouldn't I want to break that cycle? And this is my other thing too. We talked about the whole thing about it being just a different flavor of ice cream. But I don't understand, and this is a point that I have to bring up. Why is there such a double standard of men who date outside their race and women? Now that I have definitely seen. It is so much of a, what do you call it? A gender bias? Is that the word that I'm saying? Or biasness against it? Because if a black woman dates a white man or a man that is non-black, she is instantly afforded the excuse of it's not enough good black men. She finally got somebody who treated her right because she was probably hurt by black men. That's okay. Or she got somebody that could really help her grow as a person because he understands her value and her worth as a black woman. Them the three I've heard. Now, when a black man is dating a woman that is non-black, those things are never brought up. Well, maybe he was hurt by black women. Never heard that. Ever, never. Never hear well, maybe it wasn't no good black women. Because all black women are good black women, right? That's the consensus. But that's never an excuse afforded to that person instantly. And then definitely maybe that non-black woman is helping him grow and she really appreciates him for who he is as a black man. Don't hear that at all. And when you're talking about just the amount of, I've seen pictures of like where they take little thumbnails of black men that are with non-black women and put them out there and send them around on Facebook and Instagram and say, yeah, look at the brothers who got women that are not black. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. These brothers are asleep. They not woke. They are so unconscious. And they'll do that. I've yet to see the one with all of the thumbnails of the black women that are with non-black men. I've yet to see. Because all those women are celebrated. They are celebrated. Any black woman that is with a non-black man is instantly kudos. You go, girl. I'm so proud of you. You doing your thing. You doing what's best for you. You living your life. You getting yours. That's what you supposed to do. You out here. So what if they mad? They hating because you getting this money and they just don't want you to be successful. That's what you hear. But don't nobody condemn, don't nobody boo, don't nobody say nothing about Maya Angelou. She married 2 non-black men. Don't nobody say nothing about Eve. She done married her white man and she living in London. Don't nobody say nothing about Meghan Markle, even though y'all say she black and she's not. She's biracial, she's mixed, but y'all want to claim her? Fine. Don't nobody say nothing about that. Don't say nothing about that now, do you? Should I keep going? What about Robert De Niro's wife? Mrs. De Niro, sister. Spending all that man's money. Blowing all that man's money. She BMFing over there, blowing money fast. To the point where that dude doing movies he hate doing because he got to keep them bills paid. But that's just 5 right there off the top that I named, and it's like, or 4. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's nobody saying anything about that. That's okay. Because they have excuses. And I, personally, I don't care. I don't care who Maya Angelou is married to. I don't care who Robert De Niro is married to. I don't care who Eve is married to. I don't care that Meghan Markle is married to the Prince of England. I don't care because it has no impact on my life. And at the end of the day, I don't understand why we should be so concerned about that when there's so many other things to be concerned about. 81% 21 people dying in the city of Chicago, that's something to concern yourself about. That's something to be worried about. That's something to march about, talk about, have shows. That's something to be concerned about. But it's like we are so quick to condemn people that do things that we think are not what's best for us as a people. And then when you see us try to be together, it's so much dysfunction, it's so much ratchetness, it's so much violence, it's so much nonsense, it's so much just total mental abuse, physical abuse. It's so much that's wrong with it. When we do come together, we can't even survive. We can't even be civil to one another, especially when we got money. Especially when we got money. Now, it's not too many of us brown, huge skinned brothers that have money, that have finances, and sisters alike. And the ones that do, when they with somebody that's of the same race as them, when there is a breakup, it's a tear down, all balls out. I'm trying to get you for everything you got, destroy everything you have. And what do? We sit back and say, wow. Just like when they talk about, what's the girl name? God dog. Mary J. Blige. Everybody went crazy about her ex-husband wanting child support, spousal support, for their marriage breakup. But every other woman that gets it, just like they were talking about D. Wade's wife, ex-wife, that wanted more spousal support, that's cool. What is that? How does that make any sense? You want to hold this person to a standard. You should be a man. You should go out and get your own money. You shouldn't be trying to get Mary J. Blige money. Mary J. Blige had more money than him when she got with him. And she provided a lifestyle for him to live. Why shouldn't she have to pay? Because if it was the other way around, you would want them to pay the same exact way. And that, when you're talking about being equal, equality, all of that, that's when feminism becomes female supremacy. That's when that line gets crossed. When you can't say I want us to be treated just as equal as men. If a woman does this job and a man does the same job, they should get paid the same amount. Cool. But then when you turn it around and you say because this man didn't have as much money as she did and she had money and now they getting a divorce and he wants spousal support, he weak now because he wants the same thing that a woman would get? Why not if you want equality? That's because you don't. That's because it's female supremacy. There's a difference between equality and there's a difference between supremacy. Supremacy means I'm going to put you down and suppress or oppress you to get more for myself. And that's that type of agenda. I saw people post that on social media about that dude. I think his name is Kente or Kenji. Kenji, like the dude from Martin. Something like that. He got some weird name. But he was going to take her to court for more spousal support and they lost it. They lost their mind. They dogged him. He was no kind of man whatsoever. Man, he was spending her money on another woman. So, what difference does that make? Can you tell me how many women have spent their money on another man? You think Eddie Murphy's wife wasn't spending money on Michael Strahan? Come on now. You can't even go there. I just saw that. I usually don't read the comments, but that just came up. You can't even go there. You don't matter what they spending that money on, because at the end of the day, when you got a woman like Khalees trying to sue Nas for $50,000 a month in spousal and child support, you can't tell me that somebody needs 50 grand a month to live. And the fact that I got it don't mean that you should have it. So there is no fairness in any of that. We don't even need to approach that subject about what he was doing with the money. The fact is, he's entitled to it. Just like she would be if it was the other way around. Because these women that get divorced from these men, they are not becoming virgins. I mean, they're not virgins, but they're not becoming nuns. They are not abstaining from sex. They are not just, hey, I'm not going to be with nobody else. I'm just going to live and take care of my kids. They out sleeping with somebody else. And if they're sleeping with somebody else, they're spending money on that dude. Plain and simple. There's plenty of women who are dating other men and won't get married to that man because they're making more money sitting back collecting spousal support and child support than they would be if they was married to that dude. Then they would have to stop getting that spousal support. So they will literally say, we'll get married after this runs out. Yeah, I know you got a job. Yeah, I know we can live off of what you got, but I can have more. I can get more by not marrying you. So I'm not. So if he was spending that money on another woman, so be it. Because there's plenty of women that spend their money on other dudes. That's just a fact. So you can't dispute that. You can't try to argue that point. It doesn't matter what he was doing to spending the money on. The fact of the matter is that money was given to her. And the same way it was given to her, it should be given to him if you want to be equal. Let me get back into what I'm talking about. So with the double standard when it comes to just dating outside the race, I think that that's something that lets you know it shouldn't be one-sided. And people should really think that. If you look and say, well, hey, I feel as a black woman, I can't find no good black man, and I like the way that I like the dynamic of being with a non-black man, whether they're white, whether they're Hispanic, whether they're Asian. I like being with them. I like the way that they treat me. I like their culture. I like the things that they do. We have a lot in common. And you want to do that, you should be absolutely 100% feel free to go do that. And when you see a black man that you like, that look good, that's on TV or on the basketball court or in sports or whatever the case may be, and he wants to do the same exact thing, you shouldn't be mad at that. You shouldn't have it. You can't have it both ways where you get to pick whoever you want, but the men should only be able to have that option if you don't want them. That's superiority. That's you thinking that you're better than them to the point to where they shouldn't have unless you give. That's superiority. You should have to go through me. If don't no black woman want you, then you can have a white girl. No. Kendu, that's his name. But I do agree that Kendu should get something. He should get just what any other woman should get. That's what I'm saying. He was her manager and sacrificed his career to focus on her. He ain't had no career. He was Kendu. He was Kendu. Let nobody know who Kendu was. Kendu was a nobody. Still is a nobody. Kendu is Mary J. Blige's ex-husband. That's the only thing that changed. He wasn't nobody. Nobody. But at the end of the day, he should be afforded the same exact thing that a woman would be afforded if the situation was on the other foot. Well, reversed, I should say, not on the other foot. But that's my thing with that. It's like we have to get to a point to where if we are truly going to say if we're going to do what we say, we need to say, hey, this is right. And if it's wrong, then let's fix it. You can't just isolate it. Halle Berry pays her baby daddy $30,000 a month for her child, and she stays with him. Hey, when she stays with him, hey, is the game messed up? I will absolutely say yes, it is. There should be let me give you this. Here's how spousal support, child support, here's how it should work. I'm $100 million dude. I got the money. I've been with my girl for whether it's 2 years, 20 years, whatever you want to call it. Don't matter. We married. Legally married. We've been married. And we are unfortunate, or if I'm not smart enough to have a marital contract in place to where we decide that stuff, this is how it should go in the system. You have my child, or you've been married to me for however many years, whatever the case may be. I need to be able to set you up, essentially. And that's basically giving you some place to live, someplace to something to drive, some food. I mean, not food on your table, but and a salary for you to be able to live off of. And that salary should be something that is not equal to what I provide. It should be according to today's standards. So if I'm living in the richest city, in the richest part of the city, I'm living in Silicon Valley, where all the money at, and we get a divorce, if my kid is going to a school in Silicon Valley, yep, I should pay for that. I agree. Sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you why. Because if we wasn't, my kids should not suffer for our failure as a parent, as parents. So I believe that. However, if that kid goes to the school where I live, and he's going to live under those standards, that kid should stay with me unless I don't want to. Unless I don't want him. And I guarantee you, most men would. Now, that kid stays with me, then for you, as far as spousal support, you should get not low income, but you should get medium income. What do they call that? The middle class. What the middle class standard of living is, that's what I should pay. Because I should not be responsible for making you or setting you up to live like me. No. I should set you up to where you live, where the average, which is middle class, you live in middle class standings. Yep, I should do that. So I should have to get you a house or pay rent, whatever, however I want to work it out. I pay that, and that's where you stay. Now, as far as your day-to-day expenses and all that stuff, you do something like, hey, if I pay the house off, you good. You got to get a job. If I pay the house off, you got to feed yourself. That's not my responsibility. But I know that when you was with me, you had a house. When you was with me, you had a car. So yes, those things, yep. So I give you a car, give you a house, we done. So you talking about $100 million dude, he may wind up coming out of his pocket, $500,000, maybe $1 million when it's all said and done. When you talk about getting the car, when you talk about getting the house, taxes and all that stuff, decent, $250,000 home, fine, I get that. But once that's done and that's paid for, that's on you. And now when you're talking about the life expenses of that, so yes, we've been together for 10 years, then I should pay for 10 years of your house taxes. Pay for 10 years of your car insurance. Fine. Because that's what we was in, and you could say, well, I helped supported you as you was doing this and all this time we was together. Yep, I agree. And it's done. When it comes to that child support thing, child support should be the monthly expenses that it is in a middle class home. So what does it take? And you can figure that out. What is the average it takes to figure out for food, clothing, shelter, insurance, and all that? Yes, I tell you what, it ain't going to add up to $30,000. It ain't going to add up to $50,000. It won't add up to that. It ain't going to be $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? It won't be that. Because at the end of the day, I want to be able to take care and pay my portion of setting up my kid. And if I got to pay a little bit more to do that, cool. But to pay these outlandish amounts of child support, that's insane. And it's not fair. So if you want to talk about fair, that's fair. If you want to talk about being right, that's right. But we ain't in that. We're not living in that. We living in get what you can, take me to court, pay my lawyer fees, you gonna pay the fees that it took for me to get you in the court to get your money. So basically, I gotta pay for somebody to come take my money. How does that make sense? But that's the world we live in. And I'm cool with that, which is why I tell anybody that got any kind of money, you need to get yourself a marital contract, because what that marital contract does, it literally breaks down what happens if there is a divorce, no matter what. The day we say I want a divorce, okay, cool. Based on this sheet of paper that we signed before we get married, this is what happens, this is what you get, this is how much you get, this is what it is, and that's it. We're done. We ain't even gotta go to court. All we gotta do is just fill out the paperwork, submit it, go before the judge. He said, yep, this is what it is, that's what it is. Everybody sign? Cool. It's done. That's how it should be. Anybody that got money. Yeah, if you broke, if both of y'all broke, then hey, y'all hit big, y'all make money. Whatever that comes from that, y'all should split it down the middle. Because y'all didn't have shit when y'all got together. But if I come out and I'm already the guy who created the next microchip motherboard for the fastest computer in the world, and I'm that guy, and then you get with me, yes, before we get married, we need to have a marital contract. I'm about to go to the NBA. I'm about to go into the NFL. I'm the #1 college prospect. Yep, I'm going to get married. Let's do a marital contract. Because that way, there is no problem. And what that makes everybody in the relationship, makes everybody humble. Because you got yours, and I got mine. And we know what happens when we part ways. I ain't got to worry about you getting me for child support, because that's already in the decree. I ain't got to worry about how much money I got to pay in alimony. That's already in the decree. I ain't got to worry about who get what house, who get what car, who get what property, who get the overseas cottage. I ain't got to worry about none of that. It's all right there. And you worked it out and you agreed upon it when you was in love and happy and all that love and happiness. When you was in that state of euphoria, that's when you decided. So it is what it is. So that's all I have to say about that. So let me move into just what I think, this is real quick and then I'm out of here. The benefits of dating outside your race. Yup, I'm going to say it. So first and foremost, the benefits of dating outside your race, especially coming from an African American perspective, black folk perspective, number one, you get more options. You have more options when it comes to people that are going to be good for you. You have more options of meeting people that are more compatible with you. You have greater odds of meeting people that are going to be more compatible with who you are as a person. So that's first and foremost, because when you're dating outside your race, you're dating more people, you're looking at more people, you're interviewing, y'all know how I'm big on that word, interviewing more people to say, well, hey, maybe me and this person can get along better. Maybe me and this person have more things in common. Maybe me and this person, we have the same ideas, the same morals, the same values. At the end of the day, and even in some cases, that person can be better. So that's definitely first and foremost. More options, greater odds for compatibility. Also, too, with the greater odds for compatibility, you also have the greater odds for a stronger family dynamic and stability. Since we the highest in single parenting, why wouldn't we want to date people from other races that are more stable, have more stable families, have longer families that are intact, where you can still go and person have great grandfathers, great grandmothers, great great grandfathers, great great grandmothers. They are still around. They are still in the family. They still stay together. A lot of other cultures, they don't have this problem. So they have, their family structure is a lot more intact. It's not just grandma who been raising everybody else's kids for the past 30 years, and once grandma gone, we don't know who gonna help out, who gonna take care of the family, who gonna take care of everybody, because she was the centerpiece, she was the main one, she was the rock, and didn't have a successor. Or ain't no, or it was granddaddy that was the one. And now granddaddy gone. Now everybody just done went their own way, and they done just went and did whatever, and then everything done went to hell because that one person is gone. When you have that family dynamic, you have those older siblings that learn from the parents. You have those older brothers and sisters that learn that dynamic. So when that person does pass away, the mantle moves to them, and they become the rock, if you will. So that's one of the things too. And it's like when you're looking at just being able to sustain functional families, we are not the best at that. So why wouldn't we want to get with somebody or be able to be exposed to somebody that has that already? It's not about us always trying to just say, well, we're going to build it ourselves. We'll turn our own thing around. Sometimes you got to say, hey, you're already pretty good at this. Can I hang with you? Hey, you already know how to do this. Can you show me? You know what? I like the way you do this thing, this family thing. And I like the way that don't nobody yell or scream at y'all at each other, and you can just sit and talk and have conversations. Let me go hang out with y'all. It's not about us always trying to figure it out and us always trying to take it to another level on our own. Sometimes you have to watch and see what somebody else is doing and see that they're doing it better than you, and say, you know what? Let me go and expose myself to them. Let me go expose myself to that. And that ain't you turning your back on your people. That's not you saying, oh, well, you must be ashamed of who you really are, or you ain't got no self-esteem. That's not that. That's you being in a position to where you can say, hey, I see that this person's doing something better to that than me, so let me surround myself with that. At the end of the day, that's what it does. And that sets you up for a win. Just like when people talk about how the Pilgrims came over here. They didn't go and say, hey, you goddamn Indians, we're going to learn to farm on our own. They said, man, those Indians know how to grow some crops, man. Let's watch what they doing and see something. They see what they doing with that fish and stuff, and they putting it in the hole with the, oh, okay, well, let's try that. And they saw what they could do because they watched those that were there before them doing it the right way. Why can't we do that? Why shouldn't we want to do that? The smart person would do that. People always talk about how white folks will take something from you and make it better. They took the street light from a black man. If you see something that's working, why not take from that and learn from that and say, yeah, let me apply that to me. Let me take this and say, this is something I can see that works, and I'm going to do that. Now, along the way, as me doing that, I find a way to make it better. Great. Just like what does the Tommy always say? Tommy always say BASF. That's their motto. We make things better. Why wouldn't you have that mentality? I want to see something that's working, and then I want to apply that to me, and then I want to see if I can make it better at that point. So that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what that means. So it's like, be in a position to where you are at least humble enough and smart enough to see somebody doing something better than you and connecting yourself with that. Because that's what's going to matter. Because now I can disconnect from this nonsense and this BS because I know that ain't working. Because I've been seeing it for the past 2-3 generations. This is a better chance, if any, of something working in a positive direction for me. Let me see what she said. Brian, show your contract with your wife. Block out the important bits. My culture is dying. We don't have what you're chatting about. So one size don't fit all. I'm in Ireland and from here, white. You're talking about, I don't have a marital contract with my wife because I ain't got nothing. She didn't have nothing. We was both broke. So what we build on our own, if we are ever to part ways, then it would be something where we split it down the middle because we have both supported each other. So that's what I'm saying as far as having a marital contract would be for somebody who is more, when a person is more or severely more well off than the other person. So basically, I'm a billionaire and you just now getting out of high school and you starting a modeling career. We need to have a marital contract. Because what I have, you will not impact it in any way. You will not make it grow in any shape, form, or fashion to what I've already grown it to. So could you help me in accruing and attaining more? Absolutely. That's what you figure out in the contract. But for me to say, I got 100 million and you got $10, and now we get together and 5 years later you get half, that's not fair. That's what I was talking about when we were talking about the whole thing of why you should have a marital contract. Because a marital contract would be able to sustain that. So I agree, one size don't fit all. So if you ain't got nothing and you with somebody who ain't got nothing, what y'all build together, you're both entitled to a 50-50 because you both work for it. But for somebody who does have more and that person that doesn't have not nearly as much, then absolutely those people should have a marital contract. Because the laws that are in place here in our country are set up to where you just get half because you are the person, you're the woman that's leaving. So that's why I said that. Let's see. My last point would be, or last benefit is dating outside of your race, or it gives you the opportunity to build a better foundation. It gives you access to better tools for building generational wealth and businesses. So when you're talking about family businesses that have been around for 100 years, 50 years, 60 years, when you are around people like that, you have the ability to have those tools, and you have a lot of those early business issues taken out of the equation already. Like if you have a bread making, company, that's been started for the past 100 years, your warehouse is probably paid for. The main bulk of what it takes to run your company is paid for. So now your company is able to be passed down. It can become a family business, and those families that actually take over that, those family members that do, they actually benefit more than the generation before from the business because there's less overhead, there's less issues, there's less expenses, and all they need to do is just run the business. You've gotten that business fine-tuned to where it's a profitable entity and it can make money. So now what that person can do is take those profits from that and make the business bigger, make it more efficient to where it can generate more money. You only get that kind of stuff from when you are with people who have established things already. And the fact that people don't have things established, now you all have the same struggle. I'm starting a lawnmower business. You starting a haircutting business. We both struggling. We both struggling at the end of the day. However, if I'm 10 years into the game with my lawnmower business, all of my stuff is pretty much ready to go. I'm good. I'm making money. I'm generating more income to where I have more disposable income than you do that's just now starting your barbershop or whatever the case may be. So now I can actually help you start something. Not to just say that you can just come and live off of me and my lawnmower business, but I now have capital. I now have a stronger business foundation to where I can help you build. That's the type of thing that you get from dating other people outside of your race that ain't from the same neighborhood you were in, ain't got the same thing that you got, ain't struggling the same way that you're struggling. It's just a benefit. It's not something that you have to do, but it's definitely a benefit. So that's what I'm saying. And last but not least, I would say we have to realize that there are a ton of things that have been dysfunctional in our families, in our communities, and in our culture for generations. and we cannot turn them all around by reconstructing them or rehabbing them. There are some things that we just totally need to disconnect from, as opposed to trying to repair them and rehab them. It's just some stuff we just have to stop doing. Like case in point, not having life insurance. That's something that we can't just, well, we can start a life insurance workshop in our local community centers. No, we need to just start doing that. We need to start being with people that have that type of stuff already. We need to start connecting ourselves with cultures that do that automatically. Those are things that we need to have that are like just basic for most people, but it's totally foreign to us. We more inclined to do a GoFundMe when somebody died than we are to just have a notice about the services and say, yeah, we got everything together, or we ain't got to dip into our 401k, or we don't have to go get a loan, or we don't have to go and beg the funeral home to make all these concessions for us so that we can, talk to our pastors and the preachers to get us to cut us a deal, because that's the one, the funeral home they always go to. And then after the funeral is paid for, we still don't have nothing left to where we leaving our loved one. We get a $5,000 insurance policy, and then the funeral is $5,400. So we got to do a $500 GoFundMe just to get enough to get the funeral paid for, because we got to lay mama and them out right. Those are the things that we need to stop doing, period. There is no, we got to work around and build something up and get something. We just need to stop doing that kind of stuff. Because in other cultures, they have substantial life insurance policies. So when they do die, their funeral service is taken care of, any bills that they may have are taken care of, and then they leave their children something. And so many other cultures are so good at it now that when the grandparents die, the money doesn't even go to their children, they go to their grandchildren, because their grandparents took care of them. Let me say that again. In other cultures, when the grandparents die, the money from the life insurance usually goes to the grandchildren, because the children from that grandparent, those children, they were taken care of by their grandparents. So the generational wealth, that gift of wealth from death, from his life insurance, they've gotten so good at it that they're able to skip generations. So when I die, my money don't have to go to my daughter. My money goes to my granddaughter, because my parents took care of my daughter. You see that? That's the way you want to be. You want to be able to put your children in a position to where you don't even have to take care of them no more, because your parents took care of them. And now your job is to take care of their grandchildren, which gives you more time to do so. I can build up my business. I can pay off my house so they can sell it. I can pay off my farm, whatever the case may be, so I can leave that to my grandchildren, because my children were taken care of by my parents. That's generational wealth. That's how the hand-me-downs come. And I ain't talking about the Rockefellers doing that and the Kennedys doing that. I'm talking about your well-off, well-to-do, middle class, above middle class, upper middle class. That's what they do. So when grandpa or nana dies, the grandkids know they about to get 50 grand a piece, because nana had a $150,000 life insurance policy that had been paid up for 40 years, and once she died, they knew they was all getting it. Now the children might get mama's house, and they'll sell that and split that up amongst themselves, but they straight anyway. So it's like, those are the things that we don't know about, that we don't try to know about, that we don't try to figure out, that we don't try to say, well, this is what we could start doing to help ourselves. Because at the end of the day, what would it be if your parents died, you got $100,000? What could you do with that? You could pay off your house. You paid off your house, you can help send your kid to school now. You can send your kid to a better school so that kid gets a law degree, or they get their doctorate, or they become a doctor. Now they have so much money where they can come take care of you, and they ain't got no student loans, because you was able to pay them student loans off from when Nana died. Pop died and left you $250,000. So you can pay off your house, and you can refurnish your crib, and you can get a car. You can go ahead and set your kids up with a college fund, and now you living a much more comfortable life, and you have disposable income to where you can buy your kids those things that they want. You can go on the vacations to all of the islands and go to Disney World and spend 10 grand and not miss it, because that's what Pop wanted for us. So those are the things that you get from that. So I guess I would just want to end it with this, just saying, hey, be in a position and put yourself in a position to where you want the best, and even if the best comes in a package that don't look like you, don't be smart enough to go after it. Don't be stupid and just turn away from something or turn something down because it don't look like you, because it don't act like you. Because just because it's something that's foreign don't mean that it's bad. It's just that simple. I saw a comment up here. Let me see. Where is that comment? Questioning. Yeah, there we go. Questioning. How and when did we get here? It's just weird to me that a group of people just decided to stop getting married. Black people once had higher marriage rates than whites. That is very true, Trina B. That is very true, and that is a fact that was. We were the highest in that. And I'm going to tell you how we got there. We got there because of Title IV. Title IV, which is Planned Parenthood, which is government assistance, Section 8, and all that kind of stuff. When it came up and it came into be, and it was a stipulation of there not being black men in the home, that's when we got here. Also, when you talk about during the 90s, the largest incarceration of black people, black males, that occurred during the 3 Strikes Law, all of that took a lot of fathers out of the home, which led to a lot more degradation of the black family. So those are 2 impactful things that actually got us to where we at right now. That's why we so ratchet. That's why it's so much debauchery. Then people always talk about, well, it's the rap music that's changing the people, making people. Rap music has a point, has a part of it, but it's not the big chunk. Because even back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, you had this thing called rock and roll, which was just as controversial, which talked about all kind of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and all that kind of stuff, getting high and all that. All that was still going on back then. People, just nowadays, we call it popping mollies. Back then, they called it PCP. Same thing. But there were fathers in the home. You knew you couldn't just go out and do that. Now, there were people that still did it, but there was a gatekeeper, which was the father. People try to negate what fathers are, what fathers do, and what they bring to the table. They are the gatekeepers. They are the ones that say, no, you ain't gonna do that. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to, this is just a fact. It is a fact that women naturally, just by nature alone, they will go along with whatever they have to go along with to survive. That is a fact. Look at it through history. Women will go along with whatever's going on in their environment just so that they can survive. Period, point blank. When you're talking about just slavery, when you're talking about the drug epidemic, when you're talking about all of those things that you talk about, the women will go along with it because it's in their nature to get along. It's in their nature to make things work, to survive. I'm going to do whatever it takes so that I can survive for my children. I'm going to do whatever it takes so that I can survive for myself. It's just like even back in the old days when there were wars and when you talking about the knights and the kings would go to war and great countries and stuff would come. What would be the first thing that they would do? They would kill off all the dudes, and then what? They would sack all the women. They would take the women. The women weren't killing themselves. There were maybe a few of them that would, but the majority of those women wouldn't kill themselves. Oh, my husband is gone. I can't take this life anymore. They weren't doing that. They was like, just whatever you want to do, just don't kill me. Don't kill my son. Don't kill my daughter. Take me. That's what they did. It's just a fact. They are set to be, hey, whoever got the power, whoever got the biggest power, the biggest gun, whatever the case may be, that's who we gonna roll with. Because we want to survive. That's just a fact. That's just how it goes. That's how it's been. It's in their nature. That's just how you're wired. That's just how it is. So it's like that's not, and it's not the thing that you would want to happen, I guess, if you're in that situation. But it's the truth. It's the truth. When you think about women that are with men now, your man gets shot down in the street tomorrow, you meet some dude 6 months later, you ain't gonna say, well, I ain't gonna never date nobody no more. I'm just gonna stay by myself because I'm just gonna, do what I need to. No. Think about how many women think about this. Look at your friends on social media. And you go back and look at the last 2 or 3 people that you really know that are single right now. Go back and look at their timeline for 2-3 years. And you will see the dudes that they dated. Women alike, women too, men too. You will see that. But you'll see how women, they will move on and move on to the next dude. It's not a thing. It's a thing of just, like this person just said, survival. They will do whatever it takes to survive. And if that means being with this dude or being with that dude to survive, that's what they'll do. It is what it is. So it's like it's just a thing of when that thing happened to where black men got taken out of the home, black men got shunned, black men weren't able to be that provider for their family because women saw it was an easier ticket to get on the government side of the game as opposed to being with their man, as opposed to staying with their family. There was a time when men were the ones that brought home the bacon. We were the ones that went out and worked. We were the ones that took care of the family. We did whatever we had to do to make sure our kids ate. And we stayed together. It binded us together. The struggle of that made us stick together. When you got to grind and work hard for what it is that you have, you tend to stay together because you can be better together. You can do more together. It's a team. Together, everybody achieves more. That's what that does. Now, if somebody's just giving you something, then you tend to take the struggle for granted. You're going to get away from the struggle. I'm not going to deal with you when I can get this for free. You mean tell me I ain't got to go to work? I get a check every month? I get food stamps? I can just take these little sheets of paper and get the food that I want? I don't need this dude for nothing but some D. It's that simple. So when you look at just how that dynamic changed, when it was a choice between if you get this free check or you gonna be with this dude and you don't know what he gonna do. Take the free check. Can't have no man in the house. We give you a place to stay. We give you food every month. But you can't have a man living in your house. Can't be married. What did we do? We said, okay. What did the men do? Well, I guess, I ain't got nobody, or I'm dead, or I'm in jail, or she don't want me no more, she don't need me. I'm just going to keep drinking this drink, and I'm going to keep, sleeping with these women. That's what happened. And over time, we lost those parents. We lost that father figure. We lost that strength. We lost that guidance. We lost that structure. And without structure, what do you have? Chaos, which is where we're at today. Chaos, chaotic, wilding out, dotting it up, whatever you want to call it. These women that are doing the things that they do today on social media, the things that these women are doing today on the streets, it's all because there are no daddies around them. Their daddies aren't telling them what they should do, what they shouldn't do when they're little girls. They're not there telling them when they're young ladies. So they're not trying to hear any of that shit when they become women. And most women, most girls in our community, you consider a woman at 16. You doing what grown women do at 16 years old. Having sex, getting high, drinking, partying, sleeping with dude, whatever you want to call it. They're doing that at 16 now. Most of them getting introduced to sex at 13, 12. Because they probably getting raped or they getting molested by their mama's boyfriend. By their uncles. By they do whatever degenerate males that they around every day. That's what happens. Because the fathers aren't there. Because at the end of the day, and that's one of the things Tommy always says, that one man that don't want shit from you because he don't want shit from you and he's the only man that probably won't is your father. Your biological father. Now them stepdaddies, you 50-50 on that. Because at the end of the day, they realize, yeah, she getting thick, she's 17, she looking good, she got this, man, you don't know what people do. And that's why it happens to so many young girls. These young black girls, they got it the worst. Because they getting it from all sides. They getting it from their mamas who see they young, who see they a younger version of themselves and don't like them, and then they see it where they getting it from the other men that see them a younger version of themselves, and they say, "Man, I could be with her. Why I got to be with her? She way less maintenance, and she knew or knew her." So it's like that's what you have to realize that these young girls are up against, and because there are no daddies there, they basically throwing out the wind. So that's why they talking about, yeah, I'm out here, gang, and doing all that nonsense, because that's what it is. Well, I think that's enough for my rant. Let me go ahead and wrap the show up. I want to thank everybody who has definitely came by tonight. I want to thank everybody who gave me a question, who had a question. If anybody want to send me some emails or something like that, we can definitely do that. And we can talk about it. If we need to have another show about it, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm always open to having a conversation. So I just want to thank everybody for their participation. I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight. And I'm going to see if I have any donations. And I'm going to read those. And we're going to get on up out of here. Get on up out of here. Get on up out of here. All right. So let's see. Yes, I do have donations. Thank you from my man Emmanuel Branch. Thank you, good sir. Man, I tell you, good show, right? Lunch on me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Always looking out. One of my biggest supporters. Thank you, sir. Also, I have a donation from my boy James Duran. Hi, Brian. I've been following Soul Nation for a while, but I started following your shows. I love them. Jimmy D. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And to everybody else that has supported me, man, I thank you guys. Click the like, share the message, whatever the case may be. I just want to say thank you. Also, too, and this was from the other day, I think it's Candace Langley. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you as well. And also, somebody else just came in. I just saw it. Where is it? There we go. Sinead, thank you so much. I appreciate your input tonight, and thank you so much for your donation as well. I love you guys. I hope that this video and this show helps somebody become a greater, better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. Happy Mother's Day to all of those good mothers out there. I love you guys. Peace, and I'm out. Bye.